Well, good morning, folks. It's Richard the Fishing Machine here. Beautiful morning here in the Tennessee Valley. North Alabama is absolutely beautiful right now. In the last few days, well, the maple trees have started budding. Pear trees, they starting to put their white leaves on or buds on. Beautiful. I mean, I'm stuffed up. We got a lot of pollen going on right now. Even though it's still winter time, late winter. In fact, it's going to be about 10 more days before spring officially begins. But this is a spring type of a day. I mean, right now it's about 58 degrees. The high, believe it or not, today, oh my goodness, is going to be 72 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful day. Now, what we're going to be doing today, well, it's what I refer to as minnoring. We're going to minnow for crappie, and we're going to be doing it in a simple way, very effective way, and hopefully we'll catch us some big crappie. Now, what I'm going to be doing is using a Sam Super Sensitive 9'2" jig rod. This is a 2-piece rod that I bought a long time ago, and I'm going to be fair about it. I wished I'd have got me 2 or 3 more because they don't make them like this no more. I dread the day that I'm going to finally break this, because finally I will, folks. And it's going to make me cry. I have caught a ton of crappie on this rod. It's light as a feather is one reason why I like it, and it's very, very limber. Now, what I'm going to use on it is a TFO, fly reel. And it is also light as a feather. It's made out of plastic. It has a little drag system right here on it. And it's as light as a feather. So it makes it a light outfit, an enjoyable outfit to fish with. Now on it I have 4-pound test mono. That's high vis vicious 4-pound test line. And it's simple. I'll show you I'll go ahead and snap this together and show you my setup real quick. Now, to start with, I'm using a little Betts float. Now, that's about 1.25 inches long, and it might be 5/8 of an inch in diameter there at the thickest part. Very, very small float. And I'm using, or cork. I call them corks, but anyhow, small split shot, very small, and a size 6 Aberdeen Eagle Claw hook. Light wire hook. Let me see. Size 6 Aberdeen. Light wire hook. Panfish hook. Perfect. Excuse me. Pollen is really doing its thing right now. But that is a perfect crappie hook or bluegill hook. Simply because if you get hung up, even using this 4-pound test, most of the time it'll straighten that hook out. And all you have to do is bend it back into shape and keep fishing. They're very small in diameter hooks. Very small, so the penetration is going to be easy on the hook set. And they're very sharp hooks. Real sticky. Y'all see that? I believe it's an underrated hook for crappie fishing. I really do. But what I'm going to do is it's probably about as deep as I'm going to fish. Anywhere from a foot to about 14 inches. And the simple reason is because this is a very shallow lake right here. Very shallow. And all we're going to do is just walk around the edges and fish close to the aquatic vegetation or any other cover that we can. And see if we can catch a few crappie with minnows. And this technique, like I said, is called minnowing for crappie. And by the way, there's not a better method for shallow water crappie than live bait. A minnow cannot be beat, in my opinion. Let's quit talking about it and let's do it. Now, I don't know what that was. Okay, folks, I'm going to start right here. check this little frable out right here. Now, I've shown this before. This was actually sent to me, and all it had on the package was Amazon. So one of y'all sent this to me. This is the handiest little deal I've ever seen. And as y'all can see how it's got segmented right there? This thing will push down and collapse, and it's got a little pump right here. In fact, I was in Walmart the other day, and I seen little pumps like this. They might have been a little bit bigger, but anyway, this thing is fastened through the back right there with one screw. So if this pump goes bad, you can just buy another pump and replace it easy. There's the tube right there, and the stone right here at the bottom, which I put a weight. That was so to hold it down on the bottom like that. And it's, man, that is so handy, especially bank fishing, which I've used it one time before, and it kept my minnows alive. I never lost a minnow. Very, very important little deal right there, I tell you what. But let's go ahead and hook one up. I'm just going to start right here. I mean, who knows? We might catch a fish right here. If not, well, I mean, we're going to end up walking, doing a lot of walking, hunting these fish anyway. But let's get us a minnow, and I'll show y'all. Oh, come here. I'll show y'all how I hook them right here. Of course, there's all kinds of different ways to hook minnows, but boy, them's lively. Okay, so let's get into it. I just open their mouth and go through their nostril like that. That don't hurt them by going through their nostril, and it allows their little mouth to stay. See, it's open right there for water to go through their mouth and rush over their gills. And believe you me, now I know for a fact that keeps them alive for a lot longer period of time. But I'm just going to go right here and start fishing some of this grass. Y'all excuse me. So I'm just going to go right here and start fishing some of this grass right here. You can see there's some aquatic vegetation right there. Now this is the time of the year where fish are in pre-spawn. This is the pre-spawn period. And these fish is coming up towards the bank. Not in these big, this is just a small lake right here, but they're doing it on the Tennessee River right now too. They're coming up towards the banks, they're looking for places to spawn. They're feeding up heavy right now. In fact, I've noticed that the males is starting to get a little bit of dark color on them. Their little hormones are definitely changing right now. Oh my goodness. I was fixing to walk away. There's a fish. Oh my goodness, big crappie. I was fixing to walk on down, folks. Y'all see that? That would have been a mistake. This is a big crappie right here. Big crappie. It's probably the same crappie. I'm close to where I seen him come up. After that minnow, that's a big old white crappie right there. God, just as I turned to walk on up, what I was going to do, look here, what a fish. Golly, what a crappie. What I was going to do was walk about right in here where that floating stop is and fish around this cypress tree. You know, that fish hit it. That's a big old crappie. Big crappie. Folks, that was a hard pulling fish right there. Nice, big old white crappie. Thick across the back. Look how thick that fish is. Alright. Going back. It's a big crappie right there. My goodness. But I'm using that little float so when a crappie hits it, it's offering little resistance. As a matter of fact, I have some floaters or some corks half as small as this one right here. I could use one even smaller than this and get by with it. I mean, it's very important when you do get a bite not to be using a floater that's too big, because them crappie will spit it out. They sure will. You need as small a float as you possibly can fish with. And the reason why I'm using this small size 6 hook is because it allows that toughy to swim freely, much more freely, by using a smaller hook than if you were to use a size 4 or a size 2 hook. When you're fishing from the bank, you got to figure out where the fish are. Now, I know where the fish are, but I've actually fished all the way from the truck all the way down this bank, fishing every little piece of structure, meaning grass, that I possibly can, and fishing it slow. And I hadn't even had a bite yet. Now that's the way crappie are. They just select certain areas. There he is. There's another one. Oh, golly. This is a house right here. Stay on, fish. Y'all seeing this? See how mean these fish are? God, this is a house. Let's just take our time. He's big enough to bend that hook out. Golly. This is a mean fish right here. This is a big crappie. This is a mule right here. Come on, boy. Golly, bum. Y'all were seeing it. Let's bring him up in this little ditch. Oh, my goodness. That is a slab and a half. Right there, folks. Let's take a look at that one. That is a slab and a half. That fish right there is probably 16 inches or more. I want y'all to look. What a beautiful fish that is. That's a golly. Man, oh man, oh man. Oh man. Golly. That is a super slab right there, folks. I want y'all to look. That is the real deal Holyfield right there. And I want y'all to look what a mouth. And that fish is barely hooked. But good enough. You can see right there. Good enough. That's a big, huge fish right there. That ain't no little old bitty scroot. I mean, this is a great old good one right here for a white crappie. Look here, what a big old mouth. Barely hooked. Big old fish. My. All right, folks. Beautiful fish. There he goes. Shot off like a bullet. Whoa. I tell you, there's a lot of minnows in this stuff right here. This swampy stuff right here. There's some ducks. Yeah, see all that movement right there, if y'all can see? Those are minnows. Oh my, what a fish, folks. I'm talking about that was a big, 2 big white crappie out of one place. But I tell you, I've already caught 12 or 14 crappie, believe it or not, without retying that knot. That's a mistake. I'm going to go ahead and retie it right now because that's 2 big, huge crappie out of one spot right there. There could be some more. Like I said, these are pre-spawn crappie, and they could be a group of fish right in that area. They were 2, and I'd hate to get bit again by another one like that and get popped off. And it can happen. Believe you me, I've done it several times. But now that I'm older, I don't pop off much at all because I always retie. I have learned my lesson. So let's retie. And by the way, I'm using a Palomar knot, which is the strongest of all knots. The strongest of all knots. So I can maximize the strength out of this light line, this 4-pound test. Alright, let's do that. Put another minnow back in there and see if we can catch another. Woo. Let's see if we can get that bait back in there. There we go. That's where it needs to be. It's down again. Y'all see that? That quick. There we go. Oh my goodness, this is a mule right here. Now that fish hit in the exact same place. This is a mule. Golly bum. Fish of this size right here, if you don't watch it, they can pop your line. That's a mule. Is that a white crappie or a black one? I can't tell right now. I'm so excited. I am super excited. Yeah, I punched it right back in there where that one bit and caught a sure enough big one. Golly. I want y'all to look. Monster crappie right there. Ain't that beautiful? That's another one right there. That fish is 15 inches probably. Alright, let's get her forceps. These are big fish right here we're catching, folks. These ain't your little old sniffers. Pooch sniffers that's in behind the school. Now these are good ones right here. We'll just release him right here. Golly, what a fish. Okay. Let's work with his little mouth. There we go. There he goes. He's going to go back to his tree. Well, he didn't. He went straight ahead. And we caught that fish off of them double cypress trees right there. That's two I've caught right there. Oh, I'm on the verge of screaming and hollering. But I ain't going to do it, folks. I can't. There's actually folks pretty close to me. They might think I'm nuts. You know, once you reach the mid-50s, for some of us it's even old 40s, you're getting to the age where you really don't care. But I hadn't reached that age yet. I just don't want y'all to think I'm completely nuts. So let's hook another minnow up right here. Open his little old mouth. Remember? Open his little mouth and out the nostril hole. And he's ready to go again. I'm going to pitch it back in there. Why not? There could be another old big fish laying right there. Okay. You never know. If it goes under, it's going to be a big one right there. He's swimming around, drawing attention. That's what I want. That's why I'm using that. Again, that's why I'm using that little bitty split shot, folks. I don't want to weight that minnow down so he can't move around. See, he's searching for a fish. He's covering a big area right there. And if you use a big split shot, well, you're going to fish right there. He's not going to be able to move your float around so he can search. He's covering a big swath of an area right there, where sooner or later he's going to come by a crappie. And when he does, that crappie's going to run up there to the minnow, stop, open his mouth, flare them gills, and inhale that minnow in. And hopefully we can get a hook into that fish. Okay, here's an interesting looking place right here. Boy, I wished I could get right in the middle of them cypress trees. I'm not kidding. Ooh, this looks good though. Yes, sir, it looks good. Look here. Look here, folks. My. Let's try right here. Big old log right here, down in the water. I could certainly hold a fish. Yep, there he is. What about that? As soon as I seen that, I knew we was in good shape. Y'all ready? Oh my goodness. Good one. Good crappie right here. Another giant crappie. Golly. Man, oh man. As soon as I walked up here, I said, yep, that's where he's going to be. Big old white crappie too. Come on up here, boy. We'll land him right through here. Okay, maybe. Oh, I'm hung up in that thing. Get out. Let's see if we can slide him up right through here. That's a good one, by Ned. I mean, a good one. Yep. That's what I was wanting. I want y'all to look here now on it. That's a darn good one right there. Now, they ain't nobody can't say that ain't no good one. That's another 15-inch crappie. Yeah, it's 15 inches. If not 14 and a half. I mean, it's going to be one or the other. Beautiful, beautiful fish right there. Let's let him go right here, folks. And we'll look at right where that fish was at, the location. Big old mule, I mean. Right there. I was fishing around a foot deep, and I seen this big old lamb's what it is. Off one of these cypress trees down in the water. And that fish is right against it. It's just something different. It's different than this cypress tree. It's different than this cypress tree. It's its own individual. That's the kind of things a lot of times that will attract fish, whether it's crappie or bass, something different. Wow, what an evening this has turned out to be. And I'm not a real smart, intelligent guy. I mean, by no means. Whoa! But I want y'all to look right here. We'll get a stick, stir in it a little. I can tell that was probably left from the Canadian honkers. All right, folks, that was some great fishing right there. I didn't fish but about 4 hours, and the reality of it is they were a little tough to catch. I didn't catch a whole lot of fish, but when I caught a crappie, it was a big one. I caught some gem dandies as far as crappie is concerned. Them were some good ones. And I want to go ahead and answer a question that I get a lot. One of the most common questions that I get on this channel. Richard, what is the best technique and what is the best bait to catch crappie? Well, you know, on this channel, everything's simple. So I'm going to give a simple answer. The answer is this: a minnow under a cork, no matter how deep you're having to fish to catch the fish, the crappie, is the best technique you can use to catch crappie. You cannot beat a minnow. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. And some of the biggest crappie I've ever caught in the past has been on live bait, on a minnow. Okay, and that's the truth. That's just straight up, folks. I want to say God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for everything y'all do. Thank y'all for letting me entertain y'all when it comes to the sport of fishing. I love each and every one of y'all, and hey, whoa, doggone it, it's gotten hot. It's got hot to me. It's hot. Woo, 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 woo. And remember, go fishing when you can, because it's good first.